Hi, hello, and welcome to today's haul. So last month, I would say a good amount of my pickups were either secondhand or sale. I really dived into using Vinted last month, so I have this month decided to theme my haul and group them by how I bought them instead of completely alphabetically. So first off, we're going to dive into the new release pickups that I got either in store or a couple of bonus stuff. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Kill the Villainess, which is a new title from Eyes Press. This was very kindly sent to me. Actually, quite wonderfully, this arrived on my birthday, so I am considering it a little bit of a birthday present from Yen/Eyes Press, the press family. This is a new Villainess title from Eyes Press. It is a Villainess title. What I do quite like about this one is, first off, it is a gorgeous cover. Second off, I have read a lot of isekai, a lot of Villainess as well, and I find this one interesting in that it's one of the first ones I've really read where the protagonist is really trying to make efforts to figure out how to get home. Find quite often they're like, I'll try and get home by following the story, or they just completely forget about they had a home before and they just sort of carry on living a life in this new world, whereas this is the entire focus is how can I get home. So the title Kill the Villainess is the character is assuming, or at first the main way she'll be able to get home is by attempting to off herself in some way, but so far has not worked. I say spoilers, but this happens quite early on where she talks about, I tried to do this, it didn't work. It is, as usual, I find with Villainess manhwa, extremely beautiful artwork, and I can't wait for more volumes. Highly recommend. Next up we have Crossplay Love Volume 6. Now, to be honest, I picked this up because someone shared in the Discord server Amazon randomly had a volume for £3, and it was actually the same for the next volume I have here, which is Blood on the Tracks Volume 3. I had picked up some Blood on the Tracks in December, which were really cheap randomly on Amazon, and these two someone shared in the Discord server as well. Thank you to that person. How you find these randomly cheap volumes on Amazon, I truly don't really know. I myself have randomly happened upon a couple before when I've just tried looking for the series, and then I've shared it in the Discord when I see them. I don't see much rhyme or reason, but maybe I've just not looked into it too much. Next we have Witch Atelier Volume 13, which was a pre-order I had ordered on Sci-Fi, and it came during the month of January. I have not yet read this one, not because I don't want to. I mean, I love Witch Atelier. Who doesn't love Witch Atelier? But I don't think there is a volume 14 on the horizon. We've got a long way, so I decided to just not rush into reading it, basically. I will. I might read it this month, I might read it next month, but I'm just going to not rush into it because we have got a while, it seems, until the next one, unfortunately. The Yakuza and His Omega Raw Desire Volume 1. This is a new Steamship title. I think I picked this up discounted on Blackwell for $7.99. Steamship titles do seem to pop up for $7.99 quite often on there. It is about a Yakuza guy and this woman is an Omega, and they end up being fated mates. I am quite a fan of the whole fated mate soul kind of trope, so I did quite like this. There are steamy scenes, which I do appreciate from a steamship, because you'd be surprised how many that don't have steamy scenes, and I liked this one. Next we have some pickups I got in store. So there's a few from Travelling Man and a few from Forbidden Planet International in Leeds. So first up we have Blue Morning Volume 6. This is the only volume I needed, I think, to complete. I think it's complete at 8. It's the only one I needed. I got it in Travelling Man. Call of the Night 18. To be truthfully honest, I needed to make a 3 for 2, so I grabbed this one to make a 3 for 2. I don't have a clear run to 18. I couldn't remember exactly what I had up to, and my spreadsheet wasn't loading. So I just grabbed the latest one because I knew I wouldn't have that one, or the latest one I could see. Chainsaw Man 17. This is on my hit list to definitely try and read this year. I have held off, and I am now going to try and get through it this year. I feel like the hype has faded a little bit from what I've seen in the community, so I think this is a good time for me to now try and dive into it without outside opinions. The Metalhead Next Door, which I believe is a one-shot from Sublime. I've seen actually quite a few people really excited for this and really enjoyed reading it, I think mostly on Instagram. So I am looking forward to going into this. I think what I'm currently finding in BL, what I've enjoyed more is when both characters are more mature. I'm less keen on the more clumsy, silly one of the characters. I like Beans. How the characters are in Beans is how I quite like them. Is that just a Beans thing? Joanna and the Dragonauts Volume 1. Oh, Joanna and the Dragonauts 7 Kingdoms Volume 1. This was, I'll be honest, a completely random pickup in Travelling Man. I'd not heard of this volume at all in the slightest. It has a very faded price bracket, which means it's probably been sat on the shelf for a while, is my guess. And I like going into completely random series blindly sometimes, so this was a nice blind pickup. Marriage Toxin Volume 5. Isn't that such a chunky volume? Gosh, staying up to date with this, but I am now quite behind on reading this one now, unfortunately. Even Dogs Go to Other Worlds, Life in Another World, My Beloved Hound Volume 4. An isekai where the guy goes along with his dog, and I just do adore pet series and it's an isekai. I must say, I don't think the series in itself is actually that amazing, but it is a nice cute trope, which is always a pleasant read. Delinquent Daddy and Tender Teacher Volume 5. I did decide to hold off reading any of this until last volume came out once I realised how short it was, which I believe is Volume 6, and I do think that is now out, but I'm still not going to rush to pick this up, I think. Not because I don't want to, but I've just not started reading it, so as soon as I can see Volume 6 for a decent price, I'll pick it up and then try reading it. Maybe for Pride Month. Hotori Hoot First Kiss, forgive me. So this is a one-shot volume, but even beyond that, it is actually sort of 4 one-shot chapters. It actually kind of reminded me a bit like Lynx, the Sublime series, where each chapter focuses on a different couple, and the theme is the couple's first kiss. Now, compared to Lynx, I did actually vaguely enjoy this one because I could actually tell the characters apart and who was who and everything. And the characters weren't appearing in each other's stories to make it extra confusing. This was just super sweet and super lovely. I actually was okay with the fact it was 4 mini one-shots of just some character development, and then it ends with a kiss. A long-running romance series ending with a kiss annoys me, but this sort of just little short mini thing actually was pretty cute and I did like it. Nagahama To Be or Not To Be. This is another one shot. This one is BL. I accidentally flipped to a potential spoiler page, so I'll not do that. I actually thought this was pretty cute. I did quite like this one. In terms of a BL one-shot, I probably rank it highly, but in terms of general, because there's been a lot of BL one-shots I've just found haven't been long enough for what they were trying to do. I found this one pretty dang cute. I really like this one. March Comes In Like a Lion Volume 3. I still unsure on this series if it's my kind of thing. However, it is published by Dempa, and I do find Dempa are one of the publishers that don't keep stuff in print for a crazy amount of time. There are obviously exceptions, but I do find a lot of their series do go out of print, so in terms of prioritizing picking up series, I do, if I can, try to prioritize ones that I think might be harder to pick up down the line, and Dempa is definitely one of those. I do like the cover though, that's so cute. Eccentric Doctor of the Moonflower Kingdom Volume 8. I've fallen a bit behind on reading this series, and that pains me because it has been one of my favourite series that's ongoing currently. No particular reason, I've just not gotten around to it yet. I think I'm now 2 volumes behind, including this one, which actually isn't the worst. It does mean I get to read 2 together, which will be nice. This one seems to be a little thicker, but they are pricey nowadays. $13.99, goodness. Just like Mona Lisa Volume 2, I am also quite keen to try and read the series. I believe 4 of this has just come out. This one is published by Square Enix. I did quite like the look of the premise. I'm trying to decide if I want to read just the 2 I've got now or wait to pick up some more. I'm tempted to just read the 2 I've got. Love on the Horizon Volume 1. This was a blind pickup. No idea about it. I couldn't tell you anything except maybe it looks like a BL. It is a BL. And that is all I know so far. Final volume I picked up in store in a regular 3 for 2 is BL Metamorphosis Volume 4, and I got this in Travelling Man in a 3 for 2. It had been shoved a bit to the back. I don't know if someone had hid it to come back for later. This is a trickier series to pick up, particularly the last couple of volumes. I've been on the hunt for this volume as a gap, fill in a gap, for a wee while now. So that is complete now at 5 volumes, and I'm very pleased because a lot of people have really loved this. So that is all the new stuff I picked up in a 3 for 2 in store. We are now going to tackle the sale section pile. So this is a pile of manga that I picked up from both Forbidden Planet International Leeds and ordered from the Forbidden Planet International in Brighton. A good amount of these are about half price, if not a bit more, and I managed to get a good chunk, so let's take a look. First up, I believe these were from the Brighton order. It is 4 volume 1s from the Saturday FM /Rockport publisher imprint. So quite a neat thing about these is these are created by people outside of Japan. As you can see, they've got the flags on the back saying where they're from, and it'll say if they did the story and the art, or if it was two different people. I don't see them talked about too much. I think there is still a bit of a stigma in regards to manga themed series that aren't outright created in Japan. I know in Korea they call it manhwa, in China they have manhwa, and then it gets a little fuzzy once you get outside of that. It's like, what makes it any different from, say, just a graphic novel? And I would say, looking at it, I think it does feel like there is a difference between a graphic novel and this. It definitely does feel more down the sort of manga themed style, but it depends on how you view it. I personally like to keep it all together and not group it with my graphic novels. I'm sure there are some purists out there who hate the thought, and I really don't care. Next month in the Dudette Discord server for March, we are doing a manhwa March, but it isn't just manhwa. We're going to celebrate any works that are created outside of Japan, and these sort of things are just the sort of thing I had in mind. So everyone's going to be reading a bunch of manhwa, danmei, that kind of thing, and stuff like this, and I look forward to trying to tackle some of these. Realised I didn't actually even say the names. We have Oblivion Rouge, Soulbeat, Massively Multiplayer World of Ghosts, and Yellow Stringer. Our next pile is a pile of a Ayakashi Triangle, volumes 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. It's going to say on sale. Everything was on sale. Once again from the Brighton store. I hadn't realised how far ahead this series had gotten, so I'm quite happy to be able to have swept up a pile in a sale. I have just realised I made a mistake. I am so sad. I was like, do I just hide this? No, I'll share my mistake with you. I picked up Magical Angel Creamy Mammy, and I thought I had 1 to 4, but I appear to have accidentally picked up 2 volume 4s because I grabbed the wrong one because the sticker was slightly over it. I am distraught, so I will just throw that into my swap giveaway pile or something. Gosh dang it. I thought it looked super dang cute, and I was like, excellent, I've got a run at least of the first 4 volumes, but I do not. Also from the Leeds store, we have 4, 7, 8, 11, 16, and 19 of My Youth Romantic Comedy is Wrong as Expected at Comic. The at comic is because this is originally based on a light novel, and they use that to differentiate from the light novel, and I do weirdly appreciate that, because sometimes when you're searching online and you just get the name of the series, you're like, is this the light novel? Is this the manga? Sometimes if you get the cover, you can tell from the cover because the artworks are usually a bit different, or you can check the ISBN. But also, if they just have a different subtitle, I also appreciate that. I'm only missing, I think, 1 till I have a clear run to 19. It does go beyond 19, so I'm not up to date quite, but it'll be a clearer run, and I'm excited for that. They've got nice rainbow spines. These don't look the most rainbow, but all combined, they are. Life with an Ordinary Guy Who Reincarnated into a Total Fantasy Knockout, Volume 3. A weird, silly, dumb isekai. It's not amazing, but I like it. 3 Sword Art Online Girls Ops Volumes 4, 6, and 7. I'm still needing a couple more to have this complete as part of my ongoing quest to try and complete my Sword Art Online manga collection. I still don't think I even have half the volumes, which is crazy. Tale of Wedding Rings Volume 6. I needed this to fill in a gap. I do now have a clear run to what I have. I think I'm now only missing a couple of volumes till it's complete. I'm not sure if the final volumes have come out in English though, but it is, I believe, a complete I almost showed something I shouldn't have, goodness me. I think it is a complete isekai series though. Sweet Blue Flowers Volume 4, the final volume in this series. I have 1 to 3, it does say final volume. It is a Yuri series, and I do feel like I'm trying to put more effort into picking up GL series. At least I will be this year. Primarily because there's just so few. I unfortunately don't think it should be too hard, apart from the ones that might be out of print are hard to pick up, unfortunately. But I would like to try and support and pick up as much, just because of the lack. It's such a shame. Peach Boy Riverside Volume 11. I think I've only picked this series up secondhand or in sale section, so I don't have high hopes for this still. Also, this one's quite a bit thinner than the others, I think. Welcome to the Ballroom Volume 8. Another series where I just sporadically pick up another volume if I see it on World of Books or in a sale section. I think I have like 4 or 5 of these now, up to like 13 maybe. Team Phoenix Volumes 2 and 3. This is an Udon Entertainment series. Having not yet read Volume 1, my only understanding really about the series is it has something to do with Astro Boy. And actually, he's on Volume 3. Yeah, he definitely does. Next we got some light novels that are for Ben. We have Woof Woof Story 2, 3, 4, and 5. This will fill a nice gap for him because I think he has 1, 6 and 7. And the same with I'm the Villainess, so I'm Taming the Final Boss. We have 4 and 6, which does also give him a clear run at least to 6, if not 7. Okay, next we have Pure Love Sexy Time 2, which is a June title. Since June has, since this book is intended for mature readers, 18 plus only, ID may be asked upon purchase. I'd never even heard of the publisher June until like halfway through last year, and they are unfortunately a bit trickier to pick up. I have started seeing them a bit more now that I've like heard of them and someone was telling me about them. I feel like I'm seeing them pop up more, because of course I am. Seeing where I can get, I mean obviously this is a volume 2, so I need to track down volume 1. Next we have a Net Comics Sweet Blood, volume 1. Sounds like a vampire story. I know there were some worries about Net Comics publishing not going ahead, but I did recently look at their website, and the website did say that even though the site was coming down, it would not affect their printing and publishing arm, basically, because everyone was a bit worried about First Night of the Duke volume 7, and I'd started to try and pick up more Net Comics thinking it might get harder to find. Not that some of them are already easy to find, to be fair, but I did see when I see them and get more excited to pick stuff up. As you can see with the next couple, we also have Give It to the Heart Memories 2 and 3, so I need to get volume 1 of this one. And then we have To Take an Enemy's Heart 1 to 4. I don't believe that is complete at 4, but it was what they had. I like that it is fully plastic wrapped. Goodness me, is it smutty? Probably. Candy and Cigarettes 3, 4, 5, 7 and 8. This was another one where they had a bunch and I had not realised how many volumes there are. Gosh. If I read somewhere correctly, this is approaching an end, so I don't think there'll be too many more volumes. I quite like the spines and like the pop of colour though. Next we've got a big chunk of a series. We have 1 to 12 of Cheer of the Star Project apart from volume 2. That is the only one I am missing. I was like, should I, shouldn't I? And then I was like, yeah, it's Net Comics, let's just go for it. And it is complete at 12, my understanding, maybe. So it's nice to be able to sweep that whole thing up. I have seen quite a few people talk about this one before, so it has been actually on my hit list for a couple of years. So it's nice to be able to sweep it up and on sale. The Mid I Hide recently is Mysterious volume 6. I have like mixed feelings on this series. I don't think it's outstanding, but it's fine, it's pleasant. So I've not rushed to pick more up currently, so happy to be able to pick it up in a sale section. I'm Quitting Hearing volumes 2 and 3, another like sort of okay fantasy so far. I don't know if I made a mistake or when they boxed it they made a mistake, but I think one of these I already have as well, and at which point it'll just go onto my swap giveaway pile. The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic volumes 3 and 6. My understanding is it is an isekai, but I've not yet had chance to get into it yet. But especially with isekai, if I do see them on sale, I am more than happy to grab them. The Death Mage volume 5, I was very happy to see this one on sale. It is One Piece books and it is very expensive normally. I would say £11–12, often once in a 3 for 2 or discounted on Sci-Fi. It just is not a series that seems to go down in price. So seeing on sale, very pleased, happy, though I do now need 2, 3 and 4. Or maybe just 3 and 4. Devil is a Part-Time of only 20. Over the years, I have managed to almost bring myself a clear run from second-hand sales. I believe it's just like 1 volume for me to have a full up to 20. The Shunji Family volume 2. I hadn't realised 2 was out, but anyway, I'm glad to say I've managed to pick it up on a sale. This was not a great series. It's the same manga as Rent a Girlfriend, and it's just has such questionable themes, and I'm not sure, like, it's not great. This one's a lot thinner than volume 1, but it's an absolute sale section series for me. Execution and Her Way of Life volume 3. This was actually the next volume I needed for this series, so but it's always very nice to see the next one you need in a sale section. This is an isekai. It is about an executioner who needs to go around beating up the people of being isekai because they have abilities that just make them way too strong, and it's not safe for the world, or is it? Kind of interesting. Last pickups in the sale section was Gigant, volumes 8, 9 and 10. I've been wanting to pick this series up for years, literally years, and it just sort of disappeared for a long while and I couldn't get it. I didn't even see it on shelves in like Leeds per se. But I feel like I'm now starting to see them on sale, and these were on the Brighton sale shelves and I managed to nab these, and I think I nabbed 3 or 4 that got randomly discounted on Amazon last year. So I'm not actually missing too many before I'll be complete on the series, since it completes at 10. However, one of those is volume 1. I do find often it is the volume 1s that elude me. Okay, so that was all our sale stuff. The last stack we have to go through is the secondhand. So this is predominantly Vinted, but there are a couple of things I also picked up on eBay. So first up, we have 3 volumes of Eye Shield 21, 10, 14 and 16. Now this was very kindly sent to me from someone on the Dudette Discord server who noticed that I was missing these volumes and they had some duplicates, so they sent them out to me, so I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It is a series I so badly want to read because so many people I know in person love this series. One of my friends has paid crazy prices to try and have a clear run. I think she's only missing 1 volume now, but I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Next up, we have a couple of volumes that I did a swap with on Instagram with mainly manga, and I swapped for Eyes Volume 10 and Neogenesis Evangelion Volume 3, I guess? It's the 3rd Omni with 789 in it. I'm predominantly picking up Evangelion for Ben. This is definitely, I think, a series for him. Also, it's such a classic. I do want to read it. I think Ben's going to get more of it than I am initially. And I hear so many interesting comments about this series. I've just been slowly picking this one up now over the past year or 2. I do have about 10 volumes, so I'm missing I think 3 or 4 more before this will be a complete series. I hope he likes the stuff I sent him. I assume he's opened it. Next we have a couple of volumes I picked up on eBay. We have Angelic Clam Volume 1 of the Omnibus from Dark Horse. It is a little battered. I'm personally, honestly, not too bothered. I, for some reason, had some credit on eBay or PayPal, I'm not really sure which, so I did manage to get it predominantly without having spent too much extra money, therefore it was free-ish. So this is a complete series now because I already have the second Omni. I'm going to save this for Clamp Month though. And then we have Grimm's Manga Tales, and I can't tell if this is an all-in-one or there is another one. It wasn't too clear. It did seem to suggest there are more than 1 volume, but I can't tell if this is an Omni with all of them combined. This kind of thing really appeals to me. I like this kind of thing. Manga tellings of classic stories just really appeal to me for some reason. So I'd never even heard of this one, so I was very excited to get it alongside the Angelic Layer volume. Okay, next we are starting to hit the vintage stuff, and I do feel I went a little crazy and I've picked up some right random stuff. I feel like definitely something that lacks in my collection is older shoujo. So I got a little giggly on Vinted, especially when some of the prices are so weirdly cheap. And I've picked up some random stuff to try. I'd go and look on like manga updates to see what the average rating was, and if it wasn't too half bad, I'd give it a go. So the first one I picked up was Platinum Garden 1-7. These are a bit battered, but I think I paid like £12 for them, so I'm not too fussed. My understanding is it is a series that didn't finish print in English though. There were only 7 printed in English, I believe, but the series is longer than that. I'm still okay to give it a go, especially at that price. I am just kind of curious to try and read more older stuff and see what it's like. Next we have Hyper Rune 1-4, and I believe this is complete at 4 volumes, which is nice, so I did manage to sweep a complete one. These also are a bit battered. I feel like if it's going to be Tokyo Pop, there's a decent chance it's going to be a little battered in some way, so I'm not too fussed again. This had decent ratings as well, so I look forward to getting to this one. I bought these from the same seller, so I'm going to do them together. We have Punch Up 1-4 and Awkward Silence 1-3. Neither of these are complete. I am still missing volumes from later on in the series. But I have started to try and pick up more Sublime now that I've tried to gloss over how shit I think the spines look. At least these ones are nicely colourful-ish, kinda semi. I, to be honest, didn't look ratings up for these, so I don't know if they're decent or not. Our last series in this haul is Kino's Journey 1-8, and that is a complete series. It is complete to 8 volumes. Liddy Moon has talked about this series so much. She says that she loves it and really did try to recommend it. So again, join my hit list then, because Liddy has very rarely driven me wrong with her recommendations. And I did quickly check, because this is a series I do still see in store and I see online what the prices were, and it was absolutely cheap for me buying from someone on Vinted, so I did decide to just go for it, because I was like, I could hold off and get it later. It's not like it's I don't see it around or anything, but it was actually a pretty decent price. So I'm very happy with this one. I need to check what the demographic is to see if I can read it for one of our themed challenge months in the Dudette Discord server, but otherwise I might just pick it up at some point this year. And there we have it. That was my haul for last month. A very large amount of secondhand and pre-owned. So last month was my birthday month and I did have a Sci-Fi haul box that I had ordered for my birthday. Some of it came a bit late because I'd ordered from some weird publishers, so that will follow up in a follow-up video. And I also did an order of light novels for Ben because his birthday is coming up. I am very excited to start diving into the world of Vinted. It's been really fun seeing some of the titles I've seen. There is titles I've just never heard of and I'm so weirdly excited by it. I can't wait to see what I can pick up and read and just explore this new world of different types of series. Let me know in the comments what you think of my pickups. Do you use Vinted much? What do you think of secondhand? Have you ravaged any sale sections lately? If you like this, remember to like and subscribe and check out my channel memberships for early access, link found down below. And join the Dudette Discord server for keeping up to date with new deals and such. Otherwise, I hope you have the most wonderful day and I will see you next time. Bye!